All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. It is almost time for the WVON morning show. Let's get this thing cracking. Morning. All right, y'all. We are ready for the WVON morning show. Almost. Let me go to Maze and YouTube. Maze. Uh-oh. It's almost time, man. It's almost time.
I didn't do it. Whatever they ask you, they should be telling. He didn't.
Man, I know you did. I'm telling you. Wasn't him.
Wasn't him. Right. You want this door closed open?
Leave it open for 1 second because I'm about to go get me one more shot of coffee. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
WVON. The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or participating sponsors.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON. You're listening to The Morning Show.
I'm gonna get it, though.
Jackson.
Got to break my son in.
WVON. Rise and shine. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Call 773-591-1690. Wake up!
All right, y'all. Let's get ready to get this thing rocking and rolling, shaking and baking. To be, there's so much hatred, war and poverty. Whoa. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and sitting in with me, as he will be all week, it is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Energized and charged.
Energized and charged, man. I see you got your church clothes on, man. I see you got your church clothes on. You got to be careful wearing your church clothes in here, because you know how it is on a Sunday, on a hot Sunday in a church with no AC.
This is what it's like.
And you know how you get the fan? You get the church fan and you be fighting to get behind the pew to get the one that ain't flapping all the way because you trying to get the funeral home fan. So you be careful, man, because I don't want you to sweat your outfit out, man. But
I get you.
where you going to church today, man? What's up? You got some big business.
Well, I am going to one of those, it's a real estate thing with a friend of mine.
Okay, good stuff, man. Well, I'm going to tell you what, y'all. We got a great show lined up for you. You know, we get out of here a little early today. I have to get out to Elk Grove Village because I have to tape Uncomfortable Conversations. Don't forget, the next episode of the podcast with Maze Jackson and Joe Walsh drops tonight at midnight. That's right. You know what? We're going to talk some. It's going to be a little crazy this week. You know, last week we talked about a lot what was going on with the Ilhan Omar last week. And this Islam, man, I was watching Vice last night. Do you watch Vice News ever?
I don't think I knew that existed.
Oh my God, Vice News! You gotta watch Vice News. They were talking about these shootings, but they were talking about the Muslim mosques in the United States that are arming up to prepare themselves for white terror, for white supremacists. It is fascinating. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But you know what? Let me do this. Let me get the soul plane up in the air. But to do that, I gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? Annette, how you feeling today?
Come this afternoon, spring around.
Spring again. It's spring again.
And for you werewolves out there.
Oh, a full.
There's gonna be trouble tonight.
Remember Wolfman Jack when he used to talk like that and be like, "Yeah, it's a Wolfman."
You don't remember no wolf, man.
Man, I just did the impression, man. How you gonna tell me? I mean, I thought I was doing the thing.
You
Anyway,
saw it in the movie.
no, man, I'm a little bit, Wolfman Jack. Well, actually, because I got octaves to where I go. It is right. He used to be the Wolfman Jack. Yeah, something like that. You know what? Okay, so let me say. You know what? I got a lot of stuff on my hard drive, man. It's just a lot of stuff on my hard drive, and it's just I look forward for opportunities for him to come out. I always wanted to do a Wolfman Jack impression, and so there. When do you ever get that in context? All right, let me say what's up to the rest of the WVON Morning Show team, and to do that, I gotta say what's up to the Wonder Twins. What's up to the super producer Sonia Tompkins, as well as the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor. Sonia, can we get to 50,000 feet? How y'all feeling, first of all? Y'all feeling all right enough? All right, well, let's get this soul plane up to 50,000 feet and let's rock this thing out. Yeah, man, there's so much going on in the news.
Oh, Maze, I think I'm sweating my perm out already.
Ty, I see, man, I see. You know what, did you put some grease in your hair today?
I don't have hair anymore.
Oh, okay, I thought, well, you know what, man, I'm telling you. It is, because you got that shine, and that might be just that sweat glow.
Yeah,
I got one of those. See, I use Vaseline every morning, so when I come in here, the Vaseline.
I stopped that in second grade. I was like, this isn't really working right.
You know what, Vaseline, every day since I was born, I think, man. You know what? So, Todd, okay. So, Todd, we're going to have to talk about it. Amen. So I after we had this big long discussion, I thought everything was energized. I was like, man, Toni Preckwinkle is about to take off like a rocket. She has now got the former because she is locked and loaded, and then we find out she's going dark on TV. What's up with that, man? I mean, it's 2 weeks to go, and you're taking off all the TV ads. Like, I don't understand that.
Hey, man, I'm not in the room. My guess, probably like yours, is that they only have a certain amount of money left, and they want to wait till the last week and kind of bombard.
Yeah, but that's not kind of how the process works. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because it just, you know what, I was wondering, was she waving the white flag? Like, was it a moment where she just said, you know what? But then it was also yesterday, Danny Dyson.
She's not waving the white
She's not waving the white flag.
No.
So Danny Davis came out yesterday and he endorsed her as well. And he talked about experience. And when I say her, I'm talking about Madam President Toni Preckwinkle, who, if you did not understand what I meant when I said went dark, according to all the news reports, she is no longer running ads on TV with 2 weeks to go. You know what? My man, do you say Algernon or Algernon? Do you know Algernon Penn? Anyway, on Facebook.
I know from Facebook. Yeah.
Well, he did a pretty interesting analysis on the financial breakdown. And Ty, you know what I want to talk about, like the how do you raise money in a climate like this, and just like the environment. I really think this is a really interesting perspective that we'll have a chance to look at. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. Also, I tried to warn you all. And they have begun already. You see, Madam President Toni Preckwinkle is now defending Kim Foxx for her connection to the Jussie Smollett incident.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. That wasn't in the trip.
Yes, it was. So basically, what is happening now is they are. So here's what I think is happening. They are now describing specifically in the paper Kim Foxx as Tony Preckwinkle's protege, and I am concerned in that depending on how this race turns out, it could not be a good thing. What was once good may not be as good of an association in the minds of white folks.
I get you.
And so what I am saying, and then you think about the fact that Kevin Graham, the Fraternal Order of Police, who actually endorsed Donald Trump in the presidential election, has called for the Attorney General to investigate Kim Foxx's handling of this Jussie Smollett situation. I am inclined to believe that there is going to be tremendous fallout over this. And I'm going to say, black folks, that you better buckle up, because I think that we're going to see some real crazy stuff going on, particularly when you have the opportunity for the Justice Department to potentially stick it to Chicago with a Donald Trump and we gonna have to put our arms around Kim Foxx. I'm just gonna tell y'all, cause it's getting ready to go that tide. I see it.
I get you.
I see him writing it. When I read the story out loud, and as I read it out loud, I said, "Oh, these people are already laying the foundation for this next election cycle." And so, yeah, we got to keep our eyes and ears away.
And you know, Mace, traditionally, the state's attorney, I like to say it's just the opposite. The state's attorney is not a African American position. People haven't looked at the state's attorney as someone who should be an African American.
And oftentimes, because they look at crime coming from Africa, their unconscious bias has them thinking that crime comes from black people. And the other challenge is,
see, that's
because
what I like about you, unconscious bias.
and what happens is, now people look at the state's attorney as a person that's supposed to be locking people up. And while we've been cheering all of the releases, I think the white folks have not been. So we're going to talk about it all, man, because I think we got to just be paying attention to this whole thing in context. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Mace Jackson.
So, y'all know I love me some Kim Foxx. Kim Foxx is under assault. It's probably part of the reason why she did not come out. But we're going to talk about it some more a little bit later. Not from the perspective of trying to... We just got to be... We got to be vigilant, man, because it's going down right now. Like, for real.
That's part of being organized. When you're organized, your troops understand what's going on in the world because there's somebody talking to them, giving them information. I think I might have said this yesterday. One of the greatest things about being part of the 8th Ward was we'd have these meetings. And, you know, during election times, you have more meetings because, you know, you have candidates out and they're talking to the organization and they want you to spread the word about them. But even when there's not an election, we still have meetings and we talk about what was going on in the world, what the politicians were doing, even during the downtime, talk a little history. You know, it was part of education. It's like being in a classroom. I know some organizations, the committeeman felt like he was the business manager. And he was giving the speech to his agents to go out and sell the product. But with my dad, it was more than just the product. It was how did we get here, who came before us, what were the important things to them, and what should be important to us as we try to continue and grow stronger. Because this is all about, there's a pie, it's only so big. What are you going to get out of that pie? And traditionally black people get a slice of pie and then they fight over that slice. Then it seemed like we got a slice of pie and then we fought over the slice as we fought with other minorities over it. I think that's where we are now. The slice for us hasn't increased. It's just that there's more people pecking at the slice. So, yeah, we have to be vigilant and realize that when you got somebody from your area in power, that's a plus. You know, we tend to want to get, I don't know how to put it, we want to not see color when one of ours is in office. Well, people see color all the time. And
No, our people in office don't want to see color. The people be still seeing color. The black people in office got to be like, I can't beat for everybody. You got, wipe your this side of your head. But it's right here.
Ah,
All right.
thank you.
I see you on the trail.
Yeah, no, I hear you, right. But I think the black people get the same way. They're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's politics either. But no, there's something to having somebody slicing the pie or hiring people that comes from your area that's going to benefit you in an indirect way. Sometimes directly. Yep. Politics is it's a real business. We gotta treat it like it.
Huh? Right.
Like marriage. Gotta give a little, gotta take a little. Every day is not gonna be perfect. I don't expect
You gotta give, you gotta get. Ty, what kind of stuff you be doing around the crib? You
What?
be taking stuff, you got to give a little, get a little, not take a little.
What did I say?
Jesus,
I
boy,
got
you gonna get some Me Too around here. Y'all, I'm trying to perfect my camera angles so I don't have to be adjusting. We're back. Blue fire to the mob. What up, Crawford? You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President, my man on the radio, Todd Stroger. All right, Todd.
Yes,
You know what? I want to send a shout out to your guy, Brian Mullins, and his parent-teacher organizing, Rosita Shatanda. You know what? Was it Kathy? Shout out to everybody over at King High School, all the parents that stood up, fought. I remember them calling in very early last year. I wasn't able to get as involved in that one as I would have liked to, but I am so super excited to see that they have achieved their goal of removing the principal. Principal Melanie Beatty Sevier was bounced from King High School. Now, no shade to the teacher, to the principal, but when the parents feel like the teacher is not responsive, the principal is not responsive to the real needs, I think it's important that the parents have a say. Right. One of the things I feel like has happened over time is that there has been this narrative that the parents, and I don't know who I was listening to, but that people are, like, it seems like there's an anti-parent narrative sometimes in the schools where, we all have seen the parents that come up to the school and snap off.
Yeah.
Right? But I think there's sometimes what happens is those one or two people kind of spoil the way people think or set this narrative where the teachers and the schools are and the parents are against each other as compared to working together.
No,
so I'm looking
I know
forward.
exactly what you're saying. We just had a board meeting at the hospital. I'm a director of, and we evaluated the CEO. And one of the things we were saying is, we're a small hospital, we're barely, making it, like all the other small hospitals. But we put everything on him. It was like, all right, you make all the decisions, you do everything, and if things don't work out well, then when we evaluate you, we say, well, you screwed everything up. But what we should be doing is making subcommittees to help them make decisions.
You know what? See, I think that is the truth. But see, nobody really wants to be in on the decision-making process, because if you're on the decision-making process, if there's a fault to be had, then you got to share in the fault. So it's much easier. People,
I think I've heard that before.
people enjoy the blame more than they enjoy actually taking responsibility. But I think this is an example of, there's two examples down in the South, in the Bronzeville South Loop area, where the parents have won by sticking together.
Yes.
NTA and now King High School. That might be some learning.
Blackstone thing.
What you say?
Brian Mullins, he comes from Blackstone, and so does Miss Dale.
Oh, I thought you was calling him like a Mo.
No, they just lived on Blackstone.
I thought you were saying Brian was a Blackstone.
That's just a power.
Brian Mullins is a Blackstone?
He lived on 82nd in Blackstone.
Oh.
Miss Dale lived on 85th, like me.
And he says it's a Blackstone thing.
So,
you gotta be careful with that.
There was a lot of important, well, I shouldn't say important, people who pushed for things who came off of Blackstone.
Got it. For real. Literally. Hey, y'all. Okay. Let's move on to, how about CPS got $32 million for STEM and International Baccalaureate School. Shout out to my girl, Janice Jackson. We got to get Janice on the phone, or not on the phone, but in the studio, because we got to find out what's going on with Janice in the realm of all of this change. It seems like the kids don't need any more change. I saw she had a contract, but I think it's important that we find out what is going on from our sister that is there. I have not heard very much bad about Janice Jackson. You know you can't please all the people all the time. Wait a minute. The serial stowaway. Did you see that? She got 18 months probation.
Yeah, I saw that.
How many times did she stow away? A black person would have got shot. Right? You like the second time you got on the plane and you made it somewhere, you would have got shot. Chicago cannabis business is booming. I've been reading the paper, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing into Chicago right now for the investment in cannabis. And I ain't seeing no black people. Like the companies are buying, selling, trading. All the action is happening now. And by the time the licenses all come out, everything is already going to be set. Y'all, we going to have to, some of y'all.
Well, I think there is a group that is working in that industry, trying to hear.
Okay.
From what I hear.
Well, I hear there's a few. I know that Chicago Normal, shout out to Kiana Hughes and her group. What I'm talking about, though, is the actual, so there's the groups that's forming, and then there's the money that's already moving because the people are already in play, and they are making their moves. So, again, we trying to catch up. I'm telling you, there's hundreds of millions of dollars. I've seen two at least $100 million transactions that have occurred in Chicago since in the last 2 weeks. Regarding the buying and selling, and there ain't no black names nowhere on that list. Now, look, y'all, when we also, shout out to Kwame Raoul, we're going to talk about this, but they lost their bid. Shout out to Scott Neville, too, because we're going to have to talk about what's going on with this Supreme Court race, y'all, because we're going to have to break this down, and black folks, y'all going to have to take a stand. Look, we'll talk about it some more because we got a social media question of the day. When we come back, it's to Talk Chicago, 1690. We'll be back. Woo. All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Let me say what's up. What's up, Mike Pookie Brown? What up, Tiger Pookie? We don't have any shirts right now. They are all on order, but y'all know y'all can order them online too, right? Antonio, I need you. I need you. I still don't have a credit card. What up, Brenda Rogers? What up, Tiger Lily? What up, Denise Russell? What up, Tyra Martin? What up, Denise Russell? What up, CL Cross? What up, Clifton Pierce, Lori K. Westerfield? What up, Tony Daytona? What up, Patrice Roberson? Tiger Lily? Aunt Neil? So I get out the parking lot. I love you. What up, Brother Edward, excuse me, Trustee Edward Steve from Dalton. How about that? Hey, y'all, I'm super proud of Brother Edward. You know what I'm saying? With the originator, elected official within 2 years. How about that? That's off the chain. Shout out to Diane Scott. Shout out to Erica Swain. What's up? You back in the building? You back in the back? Me and my... What up, James Matthews Jr.? What up, Katie Thompson? What's up, Michael Crawford? Shout out David Michael Milner. Hey, man, that's the dude who introduced me to Prince, y'all. Like, straight up. Y'all know David Milner and Prince used to be like this. I went to a party at Prince's house, for real. Paisley Park.
You and Charlie Murphy?
Nah.
You got a Mace Jackson story?
No, I was trying to look around the house. I was around there looking around the house. Yeah, but I did go to Paisley Park.
I'm guessing it was nice.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was like, so he did a concert. He had a concert hall in his crib, and so we did a concert, and then we had a party, and we partied at Paisley Park. And it was like we left on New Year's Eve. It was a New Year's Eve party. We got on the plane New Year's Eve, partied all night, got on the plane, and came back the next morning. It was off the chain. It was off the chain.
You are a big timer.
No, I was a promotions assistant, and I was making $18,000 a year at the time, and it's like, and I was working.
Some things are better than money.
Yes, I tell people that I have had probably some of my best experiences not working by volunteering, or volunteering has led me to some of my best experiences. The first thing people always say is how much I'm getting paid. I always look at, like, what's the experience I can get out of it? Yeah. What can I turn it into? Can I turn it into money in some way, shape, or form?
Aren't you the thinker?
There you go. No.
Yeah, you're the thinker. Hey, that's what we ought to call you now. We'll call you the thinker. Yeah, May's always thinking ahead. How can I make this bigger than it is now? How can I reach more people? Which is cool, because information is power.
Somebody tried to say the other day, like somebody was trying to say on one of our posts, you know, I'm not really super hyped up today, but somebody was trying to say, like, it's always next election cycle, it's always next election cycle. But actually, we've been slowly but surely, it's like things don't happen like bam. They happen like boom, boom, boom. So we created What's in It for the Black People. We actually created the organization, has consistent meetings. Then we have actually elected over 4 judges that say that they would not even have been judges if it wasn't for What's in It for the Black People. Now we are, the What's in It for the Black People endorsement is now sought out by people who know that their win is in the black community. We brought J.B. Pritzker to the black community and asked the questions directly when, you know what, so we got a lot of victories, but I'm gonna have to go on through them, because, you know, when I be seeing them yeps and I be seeing all them people, it's like cause you wasn't part of it, don't mean we wasn't doing it. You did. How long do I have? Huh? No, I'm good. All right. So now, sometimes, you know, oh yeah, and I got a bunch of lectures yesterday. So yes, I had to go to my Jay-Z quotes. One of my favorite Jay-Z quote songs was, "If I shoot you, I'm brainless. But if you shoot me, no, you shoot me, you're famous. I shoot you, I'm brainless. What's the nigga to do?" Right? So it's like these people take shots, and it's like the more I talk about you, then the more your name. But you know, you're trying to kill. They say Maze, no ants and sledgehammers. Okay, I won't do it anymore. I'm through. I won't do it anymore today. All right, y'all. What's up, Michelle Flag? Well, nah, what it is like, we moved the conversation. Like, I'll be honest with you, and it's not me. It's like, it's our crew has pushed. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. And Todd, it's time for the social media question of the day. You know, yesterday I got so caught up in that conversation. It was so good that I did not get to what I wanted to talk. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about. I was talking about the political circus, the greatest show on earth. And in that show yesterday, I was watching it on Sunday night, and it follows the Donald Trump presidency, and it's just an inside look at it and just the craziness that happens.
Right.
I heard them mention Civil War twice, like credibly, like as in there's somebody is literally like, oh yeah, we planning for the Civil War.
You mean the upcoming Civil War?
Right, no. Steve Bannon actually said that this year was going to be the nastiest year in politics. We talked a little bit about it since the year before the Civil War. Then I was thinking about that Kansas representative or senator who was talking about if there was people keep talking about a Civil War. We got 17 trillion bullets. On the red side, how many do the blue have? And the blues are trying to figure out which toilets to use, who you think would win. You laugh, but this is a U.S. congressman, right? This is a person. Then I think about I read the Breitbart interview where Donald Trump said that he's got the police, the military, and the bikers to get tough with the Democrats on the left if they decide things get ugly.
The bikers.
But then he was literally at a rally with bikers for Trump. Okay? Then I saw, let me go back. Does anybody remember when I told you all that I was out at the watching when Father Flaker and those guys shut down the Dan Ryan, and I saw those white guys that were in the crowd that were clearly, like they had like earpieces and all types of stuff, and they were the sunglasses. You know that haircut that white police officers have, and you know you're going to jail?
Yeah, yes.
They all, like a lot of them had that, and they were mixed into the crowd, and they were looking and observing, and I was like, these are not police. And I felt some kind of way like these could literally be some white supremacist type of guys practicing and strategizing, whatever. So then We all know, black people know, stay out the, everybody black knows you ain't really supposed to go to the St. Pat, well, they done changed it up. But you knew you was not supposed to go to the Southside Irish Parade. Now, they done familyed it up.
See, a lot of drunk people, you just didn't feel quite safe.
Right. I mean, that was one of them parades Jesse White was like, yeah, nah, I'm not even gonna mess with that. But, now it's changed since then. But they said they found white supremacist stickers all along the route. Mm-hmm. Now, remember, Beverly the Mount Greenwood area is where that precinct voted for the Nazi. 40% of the precinct voted for the Nazi. I think about all of this.
But that's kind of historic. Mount Greenwood has always been thought of a not safe place for African Americans. I mean, you can fool around on the other side of Western, but hey, you don't want to wander into Mount Greenwood.
Right. As our kids go to schools and stuff over there. But I guess, Todd, then I thought about the picture of the black kid like an antelope with his tongue hanging out, with the antlers on his head. I thought about Laquan McDonald. I thought about this, how this, we're going to talk about this Supreme Court ruling too, but how the Supreme Court ruling basically said we're going to ignore precedent of our own. We're going to ignore Supreme Court precedent and allow Jason Van Dyke to go home in 3 years because he's getting out in 3 years. I got a question and I need y'all to call me and answer. The phone number is 312-374-8130. In case of emergency, who protects Black Chicago? In case of emergency, who protects Black Chicago? So if your man Trump say, now mind you, right now, the Fraternal Order of Police is asking for the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate the state's attorney. Dig me. We have seen that the judge in the Laquan McDonald case, 16 shots, he was supposed to get a minimum of 6 years per shot. They let the man out with 6 years, potentially 3, getting out in 3. Right. You are in Beverly. There are white supremacist stickers all up and down. We done seen the people in the... Now, we saw the brother at the metro station get a white boy a 2-piece and a biscuit. When he was like, he was like, oh, yeah, I got something for you. But in case of emergency, who protects Black Chicago? Because I don't think we are... And my man Travis... I got a friend, Travis, who said, you know what? We think like, yeah, some people go to the range every month, and they think, oh, we straight. But like, really, y'all, in case of emergency, because have y'all watched The Handmaid's Tale? Yeah. Okay.
What?
The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all what, spring break might be too late. I am here to tell y'all, I'm not sure that if something happened, okay, y'all saw what happened in New Zealand?
You mean with the...
When the guy walked into the church and shot and killed 50 people. 50. And before you say what can't happen, Dylan Roof walked into a black church and shot 9 people. I was watching Vice News last night, and the Muslims in America are tooling up in their mosques. Like, I'm telling you, like, dude, did you know, how many of y'all go to the gun range out in, is it Eagle Gun Range? You know, that's owned by, by Arabs, or excuse me, by, I believe, Muslims.
Okay.
But they got all the... Man, I was watching this thing last night. The women with the hijabs on are shooting machine guns. They are prepping because they not letting nobody come and just take them. I'm not saying we need to be... I'm going to say this. I don't know what we need to do. Like Kwesi Amoa, you know, the 761st, I know Mike Brown, and they tell you to get concealed carry, and we're going to do that. But I was just thinking, y'all, are we prepared? In case of emergency, Who protects Black Chicago? Todd. Am I crazy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. We'd like to think that the world has changed. Historically, when Black people do well, there's been riots. But I guess in the last 20 years or so, we've had riots contained within our own neighborhoods. It wasn't the outside; it was within the inside. So I don't know. You might be crazy, but you might not.
So like Brother Steve said, man, they better not come on Stony Island. Let me tell you what. I feel like on Stony Island, no shade. I don't want to be involved in no shootouts. But I feel like them would be like TV shootouts. But if a military execution came around and people who were former police and military people started going door to door clearing houses for guns and looking for people, we gonna be stuck.
Well, we got the same thing in our neighborhoods. Former policemen, former soldiers. I don't think it's any different than any other neighborhoods.
Are they? Yeah, but they ain't practicing.
Well,
They practicing for their house.
Well,
The white folks practicing for their.
Police officers tend never to give up a gun. They always keep a gun with them.
But I guess having a gun and having a strategy are two different things. Because there's a lot of people with some guns.
Look, if there's some people with a strategy, we'll probably see them coming. Or the feds will probably catch it.
What if it is the feds? I'm just saying, Donald Trump said, I got the bikers, the military, and the police.
What we're talking about is what they most of these movies are about. It's about the government, the purge, all that. It's really about, it's about some white men deciding that they want to have certain rules in the country, and so they change the rules, and everybody else is subservient. I just don't see that happening.
Okay.
Not without some. There would be like war.
Okay, they just said civil. Did y'all hear the man say on TV like multiple times, Civil War? I just think.
Well, just because he's trying to start a civil war doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, let me ask y'all again. Give us a call, 312-374.
Too many people who are actually have vested interest where they be like, man, this cow is giving too much milk. I can't let nobody spoil this.
Let's talk about it when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690. Man, Todd.
There's too many rich people in the world.
The rich people be like, they ain't gonna be on the list. They ain't coming to the rich people neighborhood. They gonna finance it.
But if you break the machine, you can't milk the cow.
Now, if you put the machine,
milk the cow by hand,
or you make the cows work. We've seen it before.
We have seen it before. See that?
Y'all don't know.
Yo, when I went to Oklahoma the first time, I literally put out my Illinois ID and just walked right into the ring.
Really?
Easy peasy. I was like, what kind of matchup? Is that a zombie? I'm like, no. These are the sort of black men. Man. Bitches go.
Boo-boo. Todd, the camera's on you. You left the people.
Man, I left the people. I have to go plug my phone in.
All right, y'all.
I went to go prepare for the revolution.
I guess we talking about an individual situation, and I'm thinking of like holistically. I'm thinking there's like I was watching that thing yesterday. It was like, what happens if a dude walks into your church right now in 10 seconds? He could have shot 50 bullets. Bro. Now, I just think y'all, like, when I was watching, like, who knows how to start a fire? What happens if the power goes out? What happens if they lock up the corner stores? All I'm saying is we have nothing in the kitty. You ain't got no savings in the bank. Where you going? Huh? Where you going? Hey, can you all go get tickets to the City Club? I think you got a gun, but you could rob the corner store, but everybody gonna take the corner store. Then what happens once the Mariano's is gone? What happened? They be like, all right, now who wanna eat? If you wanna eat, show up for work. Okay, I know y'all think I'm crazy. What's up, Carol Muhammad? What up, Desmond? What up, Michelle? Like, what happens if you on one side of Chicago and they shut off and they say you can't drive no more? Well, I'm saying what happens if somebody walk in your church. I feel like, man, every church should have an armed security plan. Because if I wanted to get black people, like, all it takes is one person, right? And it's like, y'all know how we love white people when they come. Don't let the white boy catch the Holy Ghost. Say he want to be saved. He'll walk right down to the aisle. I'm telling you, white boy walk in the church, somebody need to sit right behind him. Like a big-ass dude with a big-ass pistol and be like, welcome. The welcome committee need to pat your ass down. Thank you. I just think that...
You know, you can't go in the mosque at the Nation of Islam without going to a metal detector.
Oh, but I think that's a good reason. There's a reason for that. I think, shoot, they got examples. Look at Malcolm X.
But he went to church. That was a meeting.
I know, but
but
secure your people. I think we're going to have to start securing our people. I think that, like, security is also, sometimes we take it as offense when black people execute it, but white people put some security on it to make your ass go to school. Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawn, and I'm yawning. It was my nigga Pop from the barbershop. Told me he was in the gambling spot and heard the intricate plot. Niggas want to stick me like fly paper, neighbor. Slow down, love, peace, chill, drop the caper. Remember them niggas on the hill up in Brownsville that you roll dice with? Smoke blunts and got nice with? Yeah, my nigga Flame up in Prospect. Y'all, them my niggas. No, I wouldn't. I didn't say them. They schooled me to some niggas that you knew from back when you was clocking minor figures. Now they heard you blowing up like nitro and they want to stick the knife through your windpipe slow. So tell them what you gonna do, man. People want to stick me for my paper. Damn. Why they want to stick me for my paper? Damn. Why they want to stick me for my paper? Damn. Why they want to stick me for my paper? They heard about the Rolexes and the Lexus with the Lexus slice and play out of state. They heard about the pounds you got down in Georgetown, and they heard you got half Virginia locked down. About the... Call the coroner. It's going to be a lot of slow singing if my Murgala alarm starts ringing. What to think all the guns is for? All purpose for. Got the Rottweilers by the door. And I feed them gunpowder so they can devour the criminals trying to dress my dressamos. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Ty Stroger. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Warning. Warning, warning. Hey, Black Chicago, who protects us in case of emergency? Do you think you really could depend on the police? Like, so here's the thing I'm gonna ask. Like, if it go down and they say all points bulletin, all the police gonna go to the police station? Or are they gonna protect the neighborhood? I guess I feel like I'm crazy. Until I feel like I'm crazy having this conversation. But when I literally watched Vice yesterday and I saw they were in Florida and they were like, we ain't going. Like, you ain't coming in. You looking crazy around here, we getting ready to let you have it. They are teaching their members inside the mosques how to shoot. to register for gun and safety training. And I am saying, Todd, what happens in Black Chicago? Like, if a mass shooter decides he does want to do something, like, what is our response? That when that guy said that he walked into the, I was watching it yesterday. He stood in the middle of the church, and the guy was talking, and he said there was a guy standing in the middle, and he said, now this guy's been shooting for 10 seconds. What are you all gonna do? Do we have a safety plan? Are we even thinking of a safety plan? Are churches in our communities really, because that's the easiest place. And remember, we think of it as God's gonna protect it. And the white folks be like, that's where they're at. It's like, you want to fish in a barrel? Because we gonna pray. And I'm saying, am I crazy for thinking maybe churches should have a security plan?
But I think the problem is, the question you're asking is how do you protect yourself from crazy? Crazy can happen anywhere. I mean, you know how many churches there are in the city, the county, the state?
I think
And it's not just the churches. I mean, then you might as well just expand it to every place else where mass is gathered.
I think that the deacon board needs to know how to, but I'm saying they know you least likely to be armed at a church. I think like every deacon board, like I think it needs to be a security ministry at every church, at the black churches.
I don't think these guys go thinking, there's not going to be anybody, because people shoot everywhere. So I mean, when you look at the mass shooters, I don't think their objective is I'm going to find a place where nobody's armed. No, because even when they shoot at schools, they know there's probably going to be an armed guard somewhere around there, or a police officer.
An armed guard with a pea shooter, and I got missiles. I got machine guns. I think you go for the police.
They can do it anywhere.
Yeah, but they tend to go to small schools where there's least like, you're going to go to a least likely to get caught place. Let's go to line 2. Sharon, you on the top of Chicago. Hello, Sharon? Sharon. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Todd.
Hi.
So I'm listening to the conversation, and I understand that, we have to be able to protect ourselves with arms and get training in that. But I'm seeing a bigger point in terms of how do we protect ourselves. It's like you said, the corner store is going to be shut down from us. We may be shut off from anything. And if we do gather, maybe they'll just decide to shut off our resources. Do we know where we go? Do we have a plan? Do we have an emergency response plan for anything that happens to us? I was just mentioning the fact that if your organization, if your nonprofit organization is not registered with FEMA to get emergency aid, if somebody dropped a bomb on us, there's nothing that we're going to be able to do. We're not even going to be able to feed ourselves. We're not even going to be able to get food into our community. Just because you're a church or a nonprofit doesn't mean if the people gather, they're going to come and feed them.
Sharon, I think you're right. See, I feel like we have no self-sufficiency. And so here it goes. So a bomb drops or something big happens, and now all the corner stores are closed, and they say, you want to work? You want to eat? Just show up for work. Just show up right here for work, and we'll have food for you. How many people would have a different option? How many? I'm just saying, y'all. Hey, it's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic, news, and the weather, where we'll discuss what's going on in the mayor's race. Plus, let's not forget this treasurer's race. We got Black Girl Magic possible to happen, but we got, well, I can't tell my joke because I get in trouble. Then they'll be calling me up. They'll be talking about it. But look, I know we're going to get them Dunkin' Donuts open. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
WVON.
See, I feel like we are lulled into a point of like, oh, it'll never happen. Oh, it'll never happen. I'm like, and they keep doing shit. I mean, when the dude walks into a church and kills 50 people and writes a 72-page manifesto, there's more people and there's more of that to come. And it's like, you...
Let me ask you something. Did you take Milton calls?
No.
Okay. I gotta ask
You got to be careful, because when you say that stuff, then the next day be hearing me on Facebook and they be like, So I feel like we live in a place where that could never happen. We think it could never happen, but I feel like it's happening around us as we speak. And I am suggesting that, like, seriously, think about this. The people in South Shore ain't even got a grocery store now. They couldn't even go loot nothing. Yeah.
That's true.
They could not go loot anything. So now, I'm just saying, remember, this is the same people who told you slavery was not a choice. Here we go. Let's just extrapolate it out, just real quick. So now you got all the Charlottesville dudes and all these little militias, and you done seen all these police forces in the suburbs and all that with the most biggest military tanks and armies, and they all supported Trump. And he say the Negroes are out of control because they can't stop shooting in Chicago. Y'all go fix it. And you know that there is no penalty for. You can go into the south side of Chicago and not be penalized. They're going to turn there. Now, they descend upon Chicago and march. I'm not suggesting that. This is what I feel like. I feel like you need to be like, let them niggas come down Stony Island. But that's not how it would work. It would be like military. Like, so if a tank come rolling down your street and they block off the corner store and they shut down Harold's and all the...
So who got this tank? See the question.
I'm saying that the suburban police have it. Think about in Midlothian. Check this out. In Midlothian, every cop rides around with the M16 in his police car.
I believe it. But so you think that the sovereign city of Chicago is going to let some small suburb come in and do whatever they want? They ain't getting across the border. And you'd be surprised at some of the things that the Chicago police and the Cook County Sheriff have.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm saying that the Chicago police would be with it. I'm saying that if Kevin Gray...
What you're talking about, though, is sovereignty. This would be like Denmark running over and taking over Switzerland. That's not going to happen. Not without Switzerland saying, no, you don't.
I'm saying that if they was like, it's open season on black people in Chicago and ain't nothing going to happen.
No, there's not that kind of
Lee, come in some, because you're off the camera. Yeah.
There's not that kind of single-mindedness with white people. White people are just like everybody else. They're territorial.
Here's the thing, though. There's a such thing as the dominant people, right? Like, think about this. In any situation, there are the people that will submit and there are the people that will fight. Right. If the people that will fight, that are willing to die, say, I'm willing to die, the people who are not willing to fight will submit to those people. And so I believe that 1,000 people that's willing to kill, murder, and do whatever can overtake 50,000, 100,000 people who ain't ready to pull a trigger.
There's a ton of people who I think would be willing to say, no, you ain't doing that here.
Okay. I think it would be, but would they have the ability to stop it? And if they said, we shut down all the corner stores, where are we going?
No, I mean, Nate's right about the resources. We don't have the resources to hold out, fight anything.
They ain't got to do it with military. They could just be like, no food, no more SNAP. Check this out. No more SNAP benefits, and you can only get your food from government-sanctioned locations, but you have to show us a work receipt to get it. You ain't got no work receipt, we'll assign you to a company, and you can come up and get your food. Right, and they shut, and the corner store, and they done ran all the, and they done put the,
Well, this begs the question. how many people are on assistance that need that kind of assistance?
How many? And then they close. Okay, so let me just add one more factor. And so then they're also deporting all of the people from Muslim countries. So now the corner stores are being shut down. So now you can only buy. They could shut the whole thing down, Todd.
Well, yeah, but now see, you're right. What you're talking about is that the government would turn on the people and change and try to become a fascist state. I mean, that's what all these movies and sci-fi books are all about. Is a dystopian society where the government takes over.
How far we went?
They are given absolute power.
Are you back?
You know, it's not supposed to happen. At least not here. We got people like democracy here. I don't think they're just gonna lie down.
They like democracy
all
for
those
them.
people you talking about with the tanks, if they see democracy leaving, they're gonna fight. And I'm talking about all.
You fighting? You fighting?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 56. I don't.
I'm gonna report to work.
There's more than one way to fight. Sometimes you just go to work and you don't do your work. That's fighting.
Crazy rock music. This one I used to. We're broken hearted. What up, big dog? You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. And you know what, Todd? That takes me back to Bolingbrook and my crazy rock days. Who was that, Sonia? Oh, Stevie B. That's right, Spring Love is the first day of spring, y'all. Yay. Well, actually, this afternoon. Now, let me tell you what, you know who told us that first? Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. And you know I got to say what's up to the Wonder Twins in the production studio. What's up to Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor, as well as Sonia Tompkins. And let me tell y'all what, y'all got to level up, because in celebration of Women's History Month, we're proud to announce an exciting contest to recognize young black women leaders between the ages of 18 and 35 who are doing great things to empower their community. It's called Level Up, y'all. It's a celebration of women who got next. This is your opportunity to recognize the hard work and dedication of the next generation of black women leaders. Now, nominees must be between 18 and 35. To nominate a woman who's got next, just go to WVON.com and let's level up. All right, y'all. I am excited to have this conversation. Well, no, I'm going to say excited to have this conversation. You know what, Todd? What I really enjoy is the political, you know, I feel like politics is like my bailiwick, and I really enjoy having a conversation with you. You know what, man, I really, first of all, let me say, I appreciate your candor. I think yesterday was a great discussion, and I think that it is a great example of politics. I feel like people still don't realize that we have only two choices. Right? Like, I feel like they still think we in 14.
There's three choices. They don't vote, but, well, what kind of choice is that?
Right. And so I want to continue. I want to expand this. But let me do this first before I go into that. Let me start by saying, black folks, we still need to turn out for this election. April 2nd is very important numbers-wise. Let me tell you why. There is a remap coming up. And this remap is partially going to decide our future political power. Now, regardless of who you choose as mayor, the numbers do not lie. The first thing a politician looks at when they on election night, when they're winning or when they're losing, either way, is where did I win? Who had the most numbers? Who got me the most votes? And where did I lose the most votes? We need to make sure that people understand that regardless of the narrative, that we still count in this city.
That's right.
Like, we count in this city. Now, I'm not telling you again who to pick. But I'm telling you, we have to still count. Numbers count. Like, at the end of the day, when they count how many people voted in the black wards, they don't need to look and say, oh, well, only 3,000 black people voted. You vote 3,000 people in your ward, guess what you will not be seeing? Any economic development. Because nobody is going to worry about you. So I'm telling you now, you got to turn out. Now, also the reason black folks need to turn out, because I don't know if black folks are motivated for Madam Preckwinkle. I'm not sure. But I do know that we have another opportunity to win here and put a black woman in the treasurer spot.
Yes, we do.
That being Melissa Conyers-Irvin. The reason this is important, in my estimation, is this is the first time black people, you got to do it on your own.
Yes.
See, in the power sharing dynamic, the treasurer spot went to the black person. So the white guy knew, whoever was the mayor knew that he had to pick a black treasurer because that was the deal. Mm-hmm. Well, now the white guy is gone. And the Asians are sowing their oats, and they like, why do black people got to get that spot? You got to earn it. We can take that. And so, as we continue to be political victims, because people are like, oh, right now people are like, oh, I can take that. Look, the Asians tried to take an NTA from you. They did. They was like, give it to me. Kick them kids up out of there. Get them, right? And so now, we have Melissa Conyers-Irvin running against Amaya Pawar. Now, Amaya Pawar, he got endorsed by the king of black people. Now, this is what I don't understand, because I was a little upset when I saw the king endorse Pawar.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how you the king of the black people when you endorsing the Asians? Black people. See? I'm telling y'all see how this works. It's like when you in style and you in fashion, everybody stick with you. But if it's a new somebody come to the dance, then they always wind up being more qualified. They always.
Yeah, that always bothers me.
Qualified, but how does he get to be more qualified and she got the degree?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no way he's more qualified than her. That's just crazy talk.
But I mean, so wait, you never, had no degree in finance. You ain't never, but you qualified because see, that's that unconscious bias.
Yes.
That's the unconscious bias, and people know it. Like, oh, they'll do a better job because So everybody, this woman got all the endorsements. Everybody done stood on. I know y'all said the endorsements don't count, but I'm saying she's been able to touch everybody. And it's like, we got black folks talking about where does progressive help black people? Todd, see how this, can I just remind you, right now, if you want to talk about how progressive.
You were right, progressive trumps what you're talking about, qualifications.
All right.
Progressive, that means it's going to change things, whatever that means. Whatever change is. Changing finance is not usually a good thing anyway.
Can I just point to all the black people that's progressives and they all got problems right now? Progressive don't mean black. That don't help us. And so y'all, I need y'all to be smart. Now, Ty, I gotta ask. So I come home, I turn on the news, and I see your girl. Excuse me. I see our county board president.
Yes. Madam
Tony Preckwinkle has decided to pull her television ads with 2 weeks to go.
She's going dark.
Now, you see that? Imagine that. We never would have thought going dark, Tony. You get that? How that makes sense. You see how they did that right there? I see how you did that. That was like a layup, and I almost put it through the hoop, right? But I gotta ask you, Todd, is this a sign that things are really not that good on the campaign? Like, I mean, why do you go dark at this point in the campaign? It's like it's 2 weeks to go. You're supposed to be building up.
In my opinion, I think they realized that the message they were trying to get out is not touching people. They're not talking about the right things. They have to revamp and come back out with guns blazing.
So they're gonna pull the ads, come with a new ad, and then be. But do you think? So how long is it gonna take? You think? Like, when do you think they'll come back? Because all she said was we're strategizing to. So because you're a campaign insider. So give me the tip. I know you gotta give me some tips.
I said I was a
Come on, man. She is taking advice and counsel. So let me tell you. What did you tell her? Like, what did you say? Tell me.
What did I tell her?
Yes.
I told her that she needs to talk more about what her plans are in the future. We already know who she is. We know who Tony Preckwinkle is. We know that she's a tough leader. She has to talk about how she plans on doing things out in the neighborhoods. I mean, we already know that the South Loop and the West
We know
Loop
she's been a teacher. She's been a teacher all of her life at
I mean,
TPS.
everybody knows everything about Tony Preckwinkle pretty much at this point.
Because when she did her interview yesterday, check this out. First of all, Sonya, let me just tell you what. Sonya, how y'all, I'm talking about super producer Sonya. How y'all didn't tell me I could have waited? I would have waited I feel like it was like one of them things yesterday. They was like, is he gone? Is he gone? Look out there back.
Well, you shot out there yesterday. You had someplace to go, obviously.
No, I didn't. I was lingering around. And it's time for, all right, traffic, news, the weather, we'll be back. Y'all was hiding. I was like, now how did that happen? I get in the car, and it's like, I turn on the radio, and it's like, the president. I was like, oh, Todd conspired against me. See how they do me? Y'all see how they do me?
White cop.
Huh?
White cop?
No, you, Todd. He's like, okay, he's gone.
No, I found out when Mays left.
You kicked me to the car?
Mays was in a hurry yesterday. He was packing and he was moving. He's like, I'm important. I got more money to make. And Perry came in and said, President Preckwinkle will be here in a minute. I was like, what? So I stopped and she came in and gave me a hug and said, thanks for for all your help. And I said, I know you're gonna do the right thing for us all. Keep your head about you. Next thing you know, she was on the air and I was out of here. So Mays just missed the boat. This is what happens when you don't socialize with your coworkers. You got to talk before you leave. See, I hung around, chit-chatting people up, saw Herb. Herb, what's up, man? I hadn't seen Herb in a long time. So, next time, Mays will realize, let me stand around, talk to the little people, find out what's going on, and then leave. So, yeah. But, shoot, I was still talking. I missed the interview. I didn't have a radio on. But I'll ask Mays. It sounds like he's going to play a little bit. But, yeah, it's more about what are your plans than who I am. Everybody knows who everybody is. How are we going to change the dynamics in certain parts of the city? It doesn't have any development anymore. No one wants to put any money. And the way, how does the city make you put money in places? They entice you by saying that they will use TIF funds to do a development. And so that's what we need. We need that, and the world's changing. Targets going down to smaller stores and all that. You know, we gotta figure out how do we work with these places that traditionally haven't been around, or if they have now, they're changing the way they do business, and how does it affect us where we can make
On the
it
Stevenson,
positive.
a 55-minute trip from Ivory.
I don't know. Maze has some ideas.
Eisenhower from Philadelphia.
No, Maze's idea actually about having the people volunteer for. I kid him that he stole my idea, but I only kid him about that because it's true. And,
No!
but my idea was actually different, and I don't know if I ever talked to Maze about it, but I was just talking about people volunteering. I was volunteering to do things like go to schools for 4 hours, tutor. It's not a lot of time in a month, but you know, if you can get 50, 60, 70 people, that's a lot of hours. Or, you know, we're always complaining about the filth, and man, I was by a car yesterday and a guy threw a couple of cups out the window. I think we were downtown too. But you can get a group together, a crew. Every Saturday you go out and we clean up, you know, 4 blocks or something. Maybe it's my mistake. Love inside. Passes by. I'm going 'cause I love you.
Ooh.
Yes, yes, I love you. I do. Yes, I do. I don't mind. Wait for you. Darling, I'm mad about you.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting there with me is...
A song I actually know.
You didn't know Warning? How you ain't know Warning, man?
I have no idea what that was.
Oh, man. The Notorious B.I.G., man. The Notorious B.I.G. All right.
Love the Isley Brothers.
You know what? I like the Isley Brothers, too. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Big.
No.
Sorry, Mr. Big.
The Isley Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Not Ron.
Oh, when Ron came back. Right. Okay, y'all. Let's say what's up to the WVON audience, and we're going to take some calls. Phone number is 312-374-8130. Todd.
Couldn't they make that number easier?
I know. I got the other one.
Beachwood. No.
see, now you making fun of me, and I was doing my Wolfman jacket. Now you want Peachwood? All right. 312-374-8130. What is going on, y'all, on this camp? I mean, did you see Lori's new ad? Okay.
I did see something about it. I didn't see it.
Did anybody see the ad? Let me ask you a question. I sure didn't hear the ad, though. Because you know what? Now, see how many, are we hearing Lori Lightfoot ads on WVON? You know what? Do we hear? I think Tony just started. So I'm saying, man, what's up, y'all? Oh, y'all be tripping. See, that's why I be telling y'all, don't be just jumping off the cliff.
Maze, you know black folks are taken for granted.
Man, see how they are, see? That's why I tell y'all better put some numbers on the board.
See, Maze, I work very hard not to be disillusioned and say, I'm going to Florida, forget all y'all.
Hey, man, you know what? I was thinking on February 27th, I might move to Florida, but based on the way things are turning out, I'll stay.
Florida?
No, I'm gonna stay here.
Oh.
I was like, if things,
I told you when there's blood in the streets, buy real estate.
I tell you,
opportunity abounds when there's chaos.
So Todd, though, straight up, man. So when do you think Tony will come back on TV? Is she, because I was looking at the math, and it seems like the last time she got a big cash infusion was a day after. Actually, I got that from Algernon Penn, but I went and looked at it. The last time she got a big cash infusion was the day after the election. It was reported the day after the election, but it's probably been spent. And of that $3.3 million that SEIU is given, a lot of that has been manpower hours, not cash.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, SEIU be paying, they pay themselves. They pay their workers to help you.
Right.
Right? So it's like essentially
They're off the clock, but they're still getting paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're off a regular clock and they get paid on a political clock.
Right.
See, do they get paid? Now, how does that work? Who gets paid the most money? Do they pay the people $15 an hour for working on the campaigns?
I don't know.
I'm sure they gotta pay them. But you know what always drives me nuts with those stories is that
SEIU wasn't my greatest friend.
no
None of those
SEIU.
big unions were in the end.
You know the thing about SEIU is they always be fighting for 15, but then it's like the white guy. They be fighting. All the black people are fighting for $15 an hour. All the white people are making $200,000 a year. And it's like they always coming in like, we gotta fight for the poor people. And it's like, it drives me so nuts because it's like these people that live on the Gold Coast making couple $100,000 a year off the backs and labor, and they be like, whip our Negroes up. We're gonna put our Negroes in your ward and they're gonna keep you together. Let me stop. Because I like SEIU. I love that. Let me tell you what, there's nothing better than having an SEIU worker on your team.
I'm sure.
When you are, when they're, because they're people, I'm not talking about the people, because the people bust their butts. But it's always like.
No, I had great workers helping me out from SEIU. But you're right, the upper class, they fought me every year.
Right. The rich white people.
Were working for Forrest Claypool.
Right, because they're progressive.
Yeah.
See how they do? See, there you. Oh, forgot. But let me stop, because then I'll be in trouble again. All right, y'all. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, because the Bronzeville curmudgeon is on the line, and he is calling me a fraud. Oh, Lord. WVON, welcome to the phone lines. It is Harold Lucas.
First of all, I didn't call you a fraud. I called you a house nigga when you sit next to me. All right, both of you Negroes.
Yes, thank you.
Benefited from plantation politics.
Sure have.
That's right.
All right.
Yes, I picked my cotton well. I picked my cotton well, Mr. Lucas.
Huh?
I picked my cotton well, Mr. Lucas. Bring in a big old bag.
Do, right? And y'all have done it for 40 years, and we have accepted the Negro share and the appointments of Mr. Charlie, who put our Negroes in place. Y'all remember Bull Jive Taylor? Y'all ain't old enough to remember him.
I know Bull Jive Taylor.
I know you know who Bull Jive Taylor. He came off the back of a garbage truck and rose to power and was given power to take the Negro share while they disinvest the community. The real Negroes is out here caught up in the drug gang war that's been imposed by the Chicago police force and the Mexican cartel to destroy the black community. It is concentrated on the south and west side to get us off the real estate, jack up the real estate out, and make my grandma's house cost $500,000 to run us out of town. We are going to lose a congressional seat in the next election because neither one of the two House Negroes who run Congress in Chicago, I ain't talking about the newest girl because she ain't been around long enough, but them other two should step down and let Amara come in or let LaShawn Ford come in right on that west side. But all them House Negroes got elected, and they supported Lincoln Yard, and they also supported the new police station because they ain't their own people. And they don't represent the masses of people on the west side of Chicago.
Harold, so let me say this, right? I guess my challenge always becomes in those cases, and shout out to Harold Lucas, because I'm not going to front. Harold Lucas has done a lot and continues to do a lot, and we need people.
Wait, I'm not going to let this lie. This is what I've seen all my life.
Go ahead.
There's Negroes on this side, and there's Negroes on this side, and they're all trying to help the masses, but they throw rocks at each other and try to destroy each other. And in that, you know what they get?
Nothing.
Pretty much nothing.
Or 14 candidates or 6 black candidates in the mayor's race.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not tripping on that, because it's like this. I feel like we are okay with losing as compared to putting together the apparatus. Now, we've been slowly plodding along, but I think we got to get past the point of now name-calling each other. There are 5 pillars in my estimation. I think that we're going to, after we get through, like, it's the camera. It's like it's the spotlight. It's like there's a love of calling people out, because it's like the reality rap. The world has become rap beef. right? It's like the way I'm gonna climb is to call you out and to be like, woo. Now again, everybody get when the white boys get in the room, everybody get quiet as a church mouse, or everybody get quiet as a church mouse, or they ready to take the bag. We can tell the story of everybody. Everybody's gotten a grant. Everybody done something. Once they ain't on the right side, then they call you a house Negro because you ain't in, and then you ain't doing what they want you to do.
There's this
But
crazy dynamic that you are supposed to only deal with black people. You can't deal with anybody else.
Well, no, if you want to get the money, you better stop dealing with just the black people. You got to bring the money back. But I'm gonna tell you what, I got much respect for Harold Lucas. I just think that it's the house Negro. It's like one day.
Mays.
Yes.
Respect me, I will respect you.
There it is. Talk Chicago, 1690 AM, straight out of Todd's mouth to the world.
Live from the WVON newsroom. Here's
So-
our news now.
No, you didn't.
I don't even say that word. But you know what? Because it reminds me of those old days where the guys who are now my friends and allies, they used to talk about my dad like he was Stephen Fetcher. I got nothing against Stephen Fetcher because he made a good living. And he was a black person on TV, on new movies.
But he also made a lot of business for black people. It's like we go through stages. You're right though. It's like to me, so what nobody will ever tell you, see, this is the thing. See, and it, like, y'all know I keep everything, right? So I always keep a file. And I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go too far down the list. But, like, it's like I could be a real asshole and break down why Harold Lucas is really mad at me, right? Or why he feels the need to call me a house Negro. But if I did that, then I would be bogus. And then people would be like, Mays, you are shady, and you need to stop hitting people with a sledgehammer, right? But I could have got I'm not going to even do it. I'm going to stop. But I will tell you that the last time he went crazy, I did a Facebook Live that broke down his whole history. And at the end of that, then I think everybody was like we don't want no more of that.
Well, it's like I said, if you are pulling the oar and you're trying to get things for people in your area, I'm all for it. But don't kick me in the stomach while you're trying to do your thing.
And that's why your ass ain't gonna never get it. Like, so here's the thing. So you gonna call up and MF the people who probably could get you closer to your goal, right? Probably. Could probably amplify the message and could probably give you some insight and help you navigate. The fact of the matter is, the reason, that same reason right there is the reason that the Bronzeville Visitor Center doesn't exist anymore. It's like, how you MFing the mug you owe rent to? Right? Like, you can't be like, fuck you, you punk, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you owe me $100,000.
Right.
Like, how you, and then you gonna punk me all the way to your eviction.
Right.
Right? So instead of being like, okay, let's be cool, you gonna stand up, you ain't gonna do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Like, let me just be clear. He not beating Elsie. I gave you rent free for 20 years. It's $5 a month for 20. I mean, $5 a month for 20 years. You don't pay me the $5 a month.
That's not even real money.
You don't pay me the $5 a month.
Right.
I give you a lease. That's $60 a year. 60.
You should pay that up front.
Right?
Right. Well, see, I look at that as we try to, we're not always realistic. It reminds me when Vince Lane had a meeting, CHA meeting over on the near west side. Before, I mean, I'm talking like 20-something years ago, at least. No, must be longer than that. And everyone couldn't see the reality of what was going on. And one lady got up and she was like, you know, I've been paying $60 a month for, you know, 10 years. How come I don't own this place anymore? Well, because you're not paying the full market value. If you were paying the full market value, you'd be paying something like, you know, $500, $600 a month. And because of that, you know, and this is owned by Chicago Housing Authority. So sometimes we're just not dealing in reality and what we can do. And if we want to do more, then that means we got to organize and figure out how we're going to make this work for us. But yeah, you know, Judge Cousins was our alderman, and my dad was the committee. And he was trying to beat Judge Cousins, get his own alderman. But it didn't happen, and they worked together. And, you know, even though Cousins was outside of the organization, that didn't mean that they weren't going to try to pull the oar and make things happen in the 8th Ward and work collaboratively on issues. You know, that's what we got to do. We just because you've got something over here that's powerful and I've got something powerful doesn't mean that we fight.
Hey, Mays, excuse me. What specific did you want to talk about, Eddie Johnson? Is there anything specific you just want?
I want to update. Yeah. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
Oh, we were just
pontificating.
Yeah, you know, pretty much it was just about fighting and trying to destroy each other. Ain't gonna work.
I think we got to get these things working in unison and realize that everybody has a job. You know, it's like I go back and forth with these old guys as to whether I'm like, I got they file, right? Like, bro, like if like the Harold Lucas one is so like if I just said it on the radio what the real deal is, it would be like for real, and I have like written proof of it, right? Like I keep the files. I always keep the paperwork. I always keep the text. That's why when COINTELPRO be talking crazy, it's like I got copies. I save everything. Everything. So it's like I got when you ask me for money, I got all the times you done been like, please can we? And I just feel like I'm tired of being Michelle Obama. Like that, calling me a house nigga, like for real, bro. I done. But
you remember a Soldier Story, the play and movie, and where Sarge doesn't like the way CJ acts, so he figures out a way to get CJ sent to prison. Peterson doesn't like Sarge, and he kills Sarge, and now Peterson's going to jail. That whole self-destructive dynamic, we can't afford. Ain't enough of us, at least enough of us doing positive things, where the brightest of us kill each other over what? I didn't like it because you talked to him.
From side to side, the Alpine play, pumping new shit by WA. It was at the top of it went something like this. Getting down the street in my 6'4", chucking the bricks, slapping the horse. Went to the bar to get the scoop. Local heads out there cold shooting some hoop. Pulls up, who can it be? A fresh El Camino rolling Kilo G. And he started to say, it's all about making that GTA. Because the boys in the hood are always hard. They come talking that trash, we'll pull your car. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson.
Sitting.
What?
Am I right?
Yes. That was, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you that when that Easy E tape came out, I was like, woo! That was the first one when I was in the car. Like when they straight up, like LL might have said a curse word. He might have said a damn. You might have got an S out of them. Right. They was like, I was like, oh, this can't even come in the house.
You're right.
I gotta leave this in the car. And I used to hide it under the car in case my old man went in the car and was listening to popping my tape deck. Hey, let me go to the phone lines real quick. You know I got to talk to my sister, Sister Zakia. Sister Zakia, you on the Talk Chicago 1690. Don't be beating us up this morning. It's been a tough day already.
It's all right.
Don't mean to beat up anybody. Good morning, May.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
My heart is still hurting. I want to clear up two things.
Yeah.
I want to clear up two things about SEIU. I've been an SEIU union member. This month it will be 20 years. When you had the first time, Todd, SEIU endorsed us. I was with the group of members who endorsed you at your campaign office, waiting on the media to come so we could do a press conference. I had tops, toes, and buttons all over my SEIU cap and shirt. The media never came because, of course, Tony Preckwinkle has always worked on behalf of the enemy, so they were supporting us.
No, I remember the regular workers. That's what I was telling Base. The regular workers I could depend on. It was the big shots who were like, oh, we got to destroy this guy.
Yes, well, even now, I want to say this. There are a lot of us that are not supporting Tony Preckwinkle, and we are very angry that the union would give her our little hard-earned money, because you know we don't make no money, no way. And then we are the people that Tony Preckwinkle and people like her look down on. She looks down on us. She never did anything and talked with the people down on the low end of the fourth ward. I've been down here 30 years and she at the school line. Look, I'm angry with my union. I really, really am. And Bellinov, I would really like to talk to Bellinov because, see, they don't contact us and let us know nothing about these endorsements. They don't even want to hear it. They just want the upper echelon that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. They just want to run things. Well, I got something I want to tell him. I'm talking about Clem's brother.
Tom.
Yeah. So I just want to clear that up.
Thank you, Sister Zakia, because you know what? All the SEIU people the purple shirt people come to me, and they be like, Maze, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Them people up there, the $200,000 people made that choice. Let's go to line 2, Brother Ball. Brother Ball, you on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Maze.
Am I in trouble again?
How did they slip up past you yesterday, man? I heard her on Perry's show, and I said, what? I had to look outside. It was sunny. It had to be rain and sunshine at the same time. Because I know they didn't get past Maze.
Man, I was like, look, Todd was like, see you later, Maze. I was like, dang, Todd. I get in the car. Look, I'm pulling. Look, they was like, okay. Look, they was like, he's gone. They were like, is he gone? He's gone. All right, we're go. I was like, you know what? I promise you, I really do want to sit down with Tony Preckwinkle. Like, I want to have a straight up. I know everybody is like waiting for their mate. It's like,
you're the only one that's gonna make her answer the question. Everybody else lets her run around the question. She runs around the South Side question. She runs around what she's gonna do for the West Side. She doesn't give a definitive answer. We, you know, what you said earlier is when we really got to do it by ourselves. We got to get these bank accounts going. And if we come to these people with a check and some demands, that's the only way they're going to do something for us. Nobody respects a group of people, period, politician-wise, until you come in there with a check. And that's how I think the LGBT got their jump in with Lori Lightfoot. But as you can see, there's some discrepancies with that against the South Side and the blacks and the LGBT not even being equal in that arena. So, you know, what's going on, man?
I'm going to tell you, well, you know the LGBT community, they got the double income, no kids, right? So they got 2 incomes, they got money to donate and go kick it. Hey, Brother Ball, I appreciate you rocking with us. Let's go to...
Before you do that, but he's right. I do remember Mark Lovelace used to always say that the African Americans who lived on the South Side in that community, the LGBTQ+, they weren't treated the same way as the North Side. They
Yeah.
felt like they were left out.
Alderman Burnett says that when it comes to the AIDS money, oftentimes the black people get left out of the distribution and it all goes to the North Side. All right, let me go ahead, Art. Art, you got 1 minute cursing us out, man. You go ahead, man. Art say we ain't talking about nothing.
At the same time, tell your news producer you're talking and she ain't saying nothing. So that whole interview that she did yesterday, it was just blah, 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 blah. It don't make any sense at all. It was a waste of time. And you all have to get new, fresh approach and ideas. People do not want the same old, same old. So you all keep talking the same old, they're going to remove you because people want new ideas. They do not want the old way anymore. So you all got to get that together. Otherwise, you are going to be extinct. And the helping this two black people throwing rocks at each other, that's not what it was. What it is, you got people who are for black people, and you got black people who for themselves and their constituents that got money. May God bless.
That is Art with the last one on that. Look, y'all, when we come back, you know what, do I got time? Give me the real mic. Mike, you got to do it in less than a minute, though. Go.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Mike, great.
Hey, it sounds like a hot morning this morning. So let me just say, Zakiya Muhammad is exactly correct in terms of how she sees this race. The rank and file, basically, if people, 62% of Chicagoans are looking for change, and they don't care about the experience. And the reason why they don't care about the experience is because it has not worked out in terms of their best self-interest. So when you ask the question, what's in it for the black people? What's in it for black folks? People respond by asking, which black folks are you talking about? Okay? And y'all have a great day. That's my comment.
You too, Michael.
That is Michael O'Connor. I'm going to tell you that the more and more I hear people in the streets talking, and I really think that our power elite and elected officials have to listen. I do think that they have been in a closed network, and they have been talking to themselves and what they think is best as compared to hearing the feedback from the constituents. All right, y'all. When we come back, I want to talk about what happened with Kwame Raoul and Justice Scott Neville and his dissent. Guys, there is some big stuff going on down in Springfield and in this legal system, and we cannot go for the okie doke. We're going to talk about it when we come back after traffic news and traffic.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
Are you talking about his quest to get a resentencing?
Yeah, well, yeah. Did you see? So the Supreme
I just read the headline.
The Supreme Court ruled against precedent in the Supreme Court. I'm gonna move this because you got the camera. But the Supreme Court ruled against its own ruling in giving Jason Van Dyke a pass. So basically, and Scott Neville, like all the other judges, just said, no, we're not going to do it, and they didn't write an opinion. Neville wrote a 4-page opinion and basically laid it out. They said, we've already ruled on this, and so by you doing this, we are basically overruling our own sentence.
Just for this person.
Just for this person.
Yeah.
And no, usually everybody writes a response. Kilbride wrote like a paragraph, and then they just pointed to dissent.
Yeah.
They just wrote Scott Neville's dissent. Well, now Scott Neville, yesterday, Jesse Reyes announced that he's running for Supreme Court. So now that the only black spot on the Supreme Court, plus you got Cynthia Cobb and Nate House running to split the black vote, and Shelley, whatchamajigam, the guy who changed his name so he could sound like a woman, Shelley, I can't think of his name.
I know you're talking about that.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we are in jeopardy of doing the same damn thing that happened with the mayor's race and losing a seat on the Supreme Court.
Woo, politics. Politics. Yeah. Yeah, I know some of those characters that Mays was talking about in the Supreme Court thing that we're going to discuss. This is when leadership comes in. This is the problem with not having a strong black leader who the other electeds see as their leader and respect. Because if you had a strong leader, they could call people in the room and say, look, man, this isn't your time. Your time will come. We will support you in this, but we can't support you. We can support you later.